Hey, you discoggers, vinyl community, and YouTubers. I'm here today to repeat an oft-repeated tale. The other day, I stopped by my store, and he had just picked up a big choice collection, and they haven't even had them graded or priced yet, but I grabbed me a handful, and so here they are. James Brown, Hell. Oh man, I'm showing this first. They had this one on the turntable when I come in the store. The record didn't look great, but it sounded great. So they just graded it good plus, but it plays perfect. It's a 1974 first press. Rare Mono Monarch press, double LP. On Discogs, they say this record gets a 4.68 out of 5 score. That's with lots of people rating it. And 330 people in Discogs have this record, but 299 want it. I was glad to get it. Now, I did my Disco Begat rap video here about a month ago. I don't know how to put those links up, but you guys go back and watch it if you're interested. So I talked about Sylvia Robinson.
It was going to be a hit. Play the music. He said, hip, hop, the hip it to the hip, hip, hop. You don't stop. Rock it to the bang, bang, boogie. I says, what is this? I says, okay, I tell you what, I marry the three of you together. You meet me tomorrow at the studio, and that's how the Sugar Hill Gang started.
Who founded Sugar Hill. So I got me a few Sugar Hills. This one's a Rhino reissue. This one's Grandmaster Flash and the Fabulous Five. This one is the Sugar Hill Gang. An original Apache. I watched the video of this one. Kind of funny. I enjoyed that. I never had any rap or hip-hop until recently, and now I've set up a category on Discogs for rap, hip-hop, and I'll be filling up a row. And of course, maybe the one that virtually started it all, here's Rapper's Delight on Sugar Hill with the red label, a real early press. They made lots of these things, and so they weren't too expensive. Now, I'm more into the old-time rap than the more modern, although something going to be coming there. I got Ice Cube's new record on pre-order. Everything is corrupt, and he's got it nailed, buddy. I'll wait till we get that record. Run DMC. This is a little later reissue, but it is a good one. And about a little Run DMC, King of Rock, near mint, because this record had been open, but it's a newly reissued record, and so I'm happy to pick up a couple Run DMC. Those guys were kind of interesting, and I knew more about them as people than I did about the music. We're taking care of that. And I needed this one. Funkadelic, One Nation Under a Groove, 1978. This was their staff pick, VG Plus. They had up on the wall here, last year sometime, the Maggot Brain, and I looked at that record and looked at that record, and I thought, I need that record. And of course, one day I went in and looked up on the wall, and it wasn't there anymore. I'm not going to let that happen again. So, Maggot Brain, I think, is a better record than One Nation Under a Groove. But let's get some funky. Here's some funky. Amol All Money is Legal. I want to take this one out of the jacket, and this is one, you know, I asked my store guy about it. He didn't know much about it. It was in that collection. And 2 record set. We got a nice cover here. I like that cover. Very interesting. All Money is Legal. Not sure what they're talking about there, but 2 inner sleeves with some nice artwork on them. And the lyrics. So I listened to some of this, and yeah, it's Parental Advisory. I'm not crazy about that kind of stuff, but they're fun to listen to and gives you a little different peek to what's going on some places. What's this one? Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, 1975 original, near mint, one size fits all. I only have a couple Frank Zappas before this one, and I've been getting into Frank Zappa here lately, and I'm going to be picking up some more of those. This wasn't part of that collection. This was just out of the bins. This is one of those Warner Reprise Lost Leaders. I didn't know they still made records like this. I love that title. This has some great stuff in it, and this is one that I never had. One of the things, you don't see many records here out of that big collection, a few of the rap records, because most of them were on the floor behind the counter. I kind of looked through them. A lot of classic Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, all kinds of good stuff, but they hadn't priced them, graded them, or anything yet, so I let them do their job. And I picked up this one for inexpensive, just out of one of their bins. This is kind of fun. Maxell Tape. I got a couple cassette decks. I'm going to dig those out and show them to you one of these days. Sampler, limited edition stereo recording, some nice jazz. Some of these here I've sampled them on Discogs. You know, Discogs is terrific because when you're logging in your records, if it's stuff you're not familiar with, which is often my case, I love being able to hear a couple tracks and know what it is, and then, of course, some of them, I got to get that record out and listen to the whole thing. Some of them, well, I can file them away, and I'll listen to them later. How about this one? That is a classic cover. That is fantastic artwork. Count Basie, Super Chief. Got his head on the Super Chief of the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe famous engine. It's a 1972 mono 2LP comp, near mint. Of course, it's a mono because all of these records were recorded originally 1936 to 1942. So some good Count Basie Super Chief, just a great record. John Hammond collection, it says here, from Columbia, and so it's just a fun record to have, and I enjoy listening to that. Now, one of the records I got here, the last one I'm going to show you today, Ricky Nelson and the Stone Canyon Band. Garden Party's biggest hit. I never had this record. I always enjoyed that tune. Always liked Ricky Nelson, because in the 1950s is when I was a kid, and that's when Ozzie and Harriet was on TV, and I loved watching it. And of course, Ricky, he got to be a little bit of a, I guess you could say, rock star, kinda. And he was on the TV show, and of course my parents would watch Ozzie and Harriet Nelson, and so I was trying to get them a little more interested in rock and roll. So I always enjoyed Ricky Nelson. Garden Party, true story that he wrote about an experience he had. The story is excellent, and I think the music is excellent. So we went from James Brown Hell says on here, he's too strong. We can't stop him. And the other guy says, that's because he's the Godfather. The Godfather of Soul with some great cover. And we went from the Godfather of Soul to a garden party. And that's my video for today. So keep them spinning. You're probably going to hear the same tale again. I'm sorry. But I'll see you all out digging.